Yes, my wife and I were having an interesting conversation this morning, and I just felt like God was flushing it out throughout this whole sermon. And it's just the question is, are you entitled? I mean, when a lot of us think about entitlement, we think of people that are getting benefits from the state or whatever, people who are just upset that the government's not doing enough for you, and you have your rights and you deserve more. And so I've been living under this paradigm since probably my early 20s, and it's a goal I strive to live by. I'm not always great at it. And today I was thinking, if I were to give it a term, what would it be? And that title would probably be Radical Thankfulness. I believe that we were created like most things in this world. We were born to die. We don't deserve anything. We have no rights. Like in America, they say we have all these rights, but billions of people worldwide don't have those same rights. So are they intrinsic to us? No. We don't deserve anything. And so we have nothing for us to stand up and say, I deserve this. And so it's easy to say in our society to look at people and say, oh, that person thinks that they deserve this, and that's a huge problem. But how many of us take that one step further into our relationships? Our mom, our in-laws, our siblings, our children, our friends. How often do we project our expectations on them and say, oh, you tried to help me, but you didn't go far enough. I deserve more help from you. I've done X, Y, and Z for you, and I deserve it back. Well, the truth is you don't deserve anything. None of us deserve anything. And then you take that one step further and you say, well, am I doing this with God? I've been praying. I've been tithing. I've been trying to do good work, X, Y, and Z. I deserve for God to do whatever it is I think that God is supposed to do. And we start feeling entitled towards God. And I just want to encourage people, when you take it back to base and you say, I deserve nothing. Everything that others do for me, everything that God's done for me. You know, God didn't have to send Jesus.
Right.
God didn't have to God could have just created us like the rest of creation, like the dog out there, to live and die and have nothing happen. But God created us differently. And we need to be, and like, there's no reason why our heart should just be 100% thankful for everything God's done. And in our relationships, you know, if someone's done something for us, even if it's not as much as we need or as much as we want, like, we need to be thankful for what they do to us. And then when we see them, we can have a warm feeling in our hearts and think of all the good things they've done for us, instead of feeling cold and feeling how they haven't done quite enough. And like, if you can change your life towards that and just start seeing people through a lens of thankfulness for all the things they've done instead of all the things they haven't done, like, it's a whole different way to look at life. And so, you know, and especially looking at it with God, with relationships, with everything. The base is zero, you know. All the rest of creation was born to die with no other purpose, really. And then from there, everything are things to be thankful for. So that's my encouragement.
I think that really backs on what I believe God had me say even before the start of service this morning. Joel wasn't here at that point in time. You know, about the always looking for what you don't have and the ungratefulness that creates within your hearts, and how it created it, and even in the children of Israel in the wilderness. And we need to turn our hearts and start being thankful, because we enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise, and to carry his presence. That's what our mission is. That's what he's commissioned us to do, is be his ambassador, to represent him, to carry his presence in this life. And that's going to come through a heart of gratefulness, a heart of thanksgiving, and doing that little paradigm shift that Joel was talking about. I think God's speaking, you know, to us, and that each one of us, the Lord, let him knock on the heart of our door, or the door of our heart this week, and let him put his finger on what it might be that he's trying to get through to. Amen.
And I really appreciate, just in closing of the meeting, is that with what we can receive and what he's done on the cross, we never come with the attitude of demanding God like we're entitled to it. When we do, amen, we may have a long wait. Simply because the Lord, it pleases the Lord when our attitude is worthy of him, where the fear of the Lord is there. I'm not coming demanding of you that you got to do this yesterday because your word says it, so listen to me. I think it's more of an attitude of gratitude, if you will, where you express your heart of what he's done, not with the spirit of entitlement that's sweeping through the land, but with the privilege, amen, that we are his and have these things available to us. Amen? Amen.
I was just thinking, we start through grace, that's undeserved favor through his grace, and we continue.
We
through
continue.
Grace. It's all that. We don't earn any of it.
Amen.